We're going to be talking about the Strategic ESG and Sustainability Impact Summit, SESI for short. And joining me in the studio to have a conversation, I have Hilda Aku Esiedu. She's a member of the SESI Organizing Committee. And we also have joining the conversation Isaac Edujemfi is head of the SESI Organizing Committee. Lady, gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
All right, so let's kickstart the conversation. What is SESI? What's the ESG?
Okay.
A brief talk about it. I just want our viewers to understand what it's all about. I'll start with you, Isaac.
So SESI is a Strategic ESG and Sustainability Impact Summit.
Okay.
And then ESG is the environmental, social, and governance aspects of the summit.
Okay.
So ESG is a framework that is used to sort of check how companies are doing in terms of sustainability.
Okay.
And then the summit is a premier platform we are creating to unite business leaders, policymakers, and sustainability experts, to sort of discuss challenges with regards to ESG and sustainability.
I see. And for you, Aku,
Hi.
organizing this, why is it important for businesses?
Okay, so like my colleague said, a lot of the investors are now looking at how organizations or companies are being sustainable in their operations. Yes, that's why
Sustainability is key.
Yeah, it's key. So for businesses, this summit is going to help them, bring them together with policymakers so that we can dialogue. There will be workshops and panel discussions and keynote speeches to be able to help businesses align with these ESGs and these sustainability goals that we hope to achieve. Yes.
All right. And if you look, Isaac, at this year's theme, towards a net zero future for businesses, and we all know that where the world is going and pollution and climate change and everything, if you want to be sustainable, net zero is the future. But can you elaborate on what this means in the context of Ghana and Ghanaian businesses?
Okay, so the net zero future for businesses underscores the urgent need for companies, especially the private sector, to make the effort to try and reduce their carbon footprint. We have all heard about what is happening in other countries in terms of climate change, how the heat on the surfaces of the ocean, the seas, is what drives or gives energy to these hurricanes, and with the impact they're having. So one way or the other, if you are able to make the deliberate attempt to try and reduce our emissions, that is the greenhouse gases we emit into the atmosphere through our operations and our activities, we believe that achieving the sustainability agenda in terms of our effects on the environment is something that is really achievable. Ghana, for instance, we are part of the countries that have signed the Paris Agreement, where we have made certain commitments to try and contribute to achieving the net zero agenda. And as part of our commitments, we are supposed to reduce our emissions as a nation or as a country by 2060. And government alone, although they went to sign this agreement, cannot do this.
It can't be done by government alone.
It requires the efforts of the private sector, since it is the driving force of the economy. So we believe that talking about it, coming up with practical ways to ensure companies can be aligned with achieving this goal, I think is the best.
And for you, why is it important to build the capacity of businesses as far as ESG is concerned? And how will SESI 2024 help address that?
Yes, so in terms of building capacity, like ESG has been in existence for a long time. I think the first time it was mentioned was in 2004 when the United Nations met, and then there was a report. And since then it's been there, but I think now it's gaining a lot of prominence. And so we want to draw more attention to it. And through those workshops, we would make sure that we teach these organizations, or we help these organizations align with what ESG is about, how they can impact the environment, how they can be sustainable in the operations, how they can set up corporate governances that would make sure that they are doing the right thing and they are contributing to the net zero emissions. Yeah.
I'd like to add something to
Yes. Go ahead.
So, in terms of importance, we believe that people need the requisite knowledge, in terms of understanding to do what is needed for us to be able to achieve the impact that we need. And sustainability and ESG is a bit technical. So you require that practical skill and ability in terms of knowledge and understanding to be able to make the right decisions. Sometimes people do what we call greenwashing. A lot of that.
Yeah.
So we want to veer away from that, but rather have people know what they are talking about, know what they are doing in terms of sustainability and ESG. And we believe that the only way to do this is to create the avenues where people can build their knowledge, build their capacity to be able to make the right decisions when it comes to sustainability and ESG.
Okay, I'll stay with you because you also have a forest sustainability initiative as part of SESI 2024. You mean to plant, 10,000 trees in 2 years?
Yes.
How exactly will SESI 2024 drive that, and walk us through how you're going to achieve that? What is the plan?
Okay, so we've acquired some acres of land, and one of the plans is
where the journalist in me wants to probe. Where?
Shy Hills.
Shy Hills. Okay.
And as part of the plans for the SESI Summit, each participant of the summit is going to plant a tree as their commitment, towards reducing emissions.
Okay.
So the date will be announced during the summit, where we will all converge and then take up this exercise. We are also encouraging corporate bodies to, adopt some of these acres of the land and then, help us achieve the target. It's 10,000 trees in 2 years seems big, but then we believe that with corporate companies coming on board, we can easily.
What types of trees are you hoping to plant?
Okay, so we have what we call the thick. There's a type of tree called teak trees.
Teak. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Since by research, they happen to do a lot of the absorption, the sinking of the gases.
I see.
So we look at planting more of those trees.
Let me come back to you. So what exactly is this Green Manifesto Matrix? And, there you are looking at the political leaders, political elements as well. What's the agenda?
Yeah, so the matrix is just, in simple terms, to make sure that these policymakers are aligned with the commitments and the strategies so far as net zero emissions are concerned. So we are looking, like he said, during the Paris agreements, the government were part of the people who signed that peace agreement. And because they can't do it alone, and we need the private sector, we hope to bring them together and to make sure that the government is able to align with what the private sector is also doing. And the private sector will also understand the policies that are also in place by the government to be able to achieve the emission that we hope to reduce and reduce the global temperature by 105 degrees by 2030. So basically, that's what we look to do with the global measures.
When I hear talk about temperature, I read a lot about around these things, and you'd see that animals are getting affected. We ourselves are getting affected with rising tides. I mean, polar bears are losing a lot of their habitat. So many animals are affected. I mean, every bit, even plants are getting affected. But when you talk about the strategies of governments or their policies, the elections are right around the corner. Are you speaking to these political elements ahead of the elections, for example, so that the impact will be felt, whichever party comes to power, the impact will be felt in how they govern?
Well, I think the ESG the timing is strategic, because if we are talking about net zero emissions, sustainability and the likes, I think is the right time in looking at the fact that we are going to the polls very soon. And these businesses or organizations would will get to understand what it is, the consequences and the dire effects that it has on them as a business, yes.
Okay. Let me come to you now, Isaac. The summit will focus on a number of things, the circular economy, decarbonization, among others. Tell us about the focal areas of the summit.
So the focal area is decarbonization.
Okay.
But we believe that it presents a lot of challenges, but at the same time, a lot of opportunities. We have the aspect of looking at renewable energy, the EV transportation systems. All these require a lot of initial sort of investments or financing, I may say. Sometimes it's not easy to come by some of these things in these times.
Right.
But we believe that it also creates the market for industries or for companies to create jobs, the avenue where we can expand and create employment, and also have people come and invest in our economy. So it is one of the key areas that we want to focus on at the summit. Advocating for companies to adopt, gradually sort of integrate the renewable energy into their systems. We're not saying that they should just move away from fossil fuel or something, but gradually try and integrate it.
It's not going to be a process that Rome wasn't built in a day, but gradually you want them to get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beyond SESI 2024, what do you hope the impact of this summit will be on businesses?
So we want to have a lasting impact, a culture where sustainability and ESG is well embedded in the core business models of
so it's integrated in how they operate.
They operate.
And also to help them put them in a strategic position for investments, because a lot of these big financing organizations are looking at companies that are heavily investing in ESG. So if they get to understand and they get to operate, then it puts them at an advantage position as an organization.
How will the outcomes of this summit? How will it shape these businesses? How will it shape your work moving forward?
Well, for us, it's going to be...
And if I may add, how do you hope to sustain it as well?
Yes, so SESI is a maiden edition. We hope that going forward, we'll have series of these events and workshops being organized to continually train them, to help help us know that whatever that we're doing is creating the impact it wants. And for us, it's going to be very good for us as an organizing organization, putting this together, because we would see the impact. We will see how our environment is, we are reducing the carbon emissions and all the greenhouse gases. It's going to be good for us as a nation, because then we know that we are contributing to the carbon footprint, and then we are keeping our parts of the agreement assigned.
And you're going to monitor the outcomes,
yes,
right?
we will monitor the outcomes.
What message do you have for businesses, especially in this light?
Okay, so we'll say that for businesses still staying on the fence, not seeing sustainability as
the Humpty Dumpty entities.
Exactly. Sustainability, we believe, is the pathway to profitability.
Okay.
So we encourage that they join in, on the campaign, and then start playing active roles, so that they can also equally enjoy, the benefits of what we are talking about. We want everybody to have that impact that they are supposed to have, and be part of those contributing to a better world, a better planet at the end of the day.
All right. So my final question to you both, final thoughts. This net zero agenda is one that we must all embrace. Yeah. Your summit is pushing it. How can the public, how can civil society, how can we in the media push it, help you push this agenda? I'll start with you, Hilda.
Okay, so for me, I think the media, we will need the publicity, we will need the platforms, we will need the conversations to go on. We don't want to be the only ones steering or spearheading these conversations. We want the public to also understand some of these critical conversations. When we talk about sustainability, we know that Ghana, when we take about 10 people, you have about 5 people, hearing about sustainability and ESG and this. So we want the education to go very far, wide, so that everybody can understand and come on board.
What's interesting, this whole agenda also fits into the SDGs. But anyway, final thoughts, Isaac.
So we believe that with the influence of the media, prioritizing, reporting on some of these things, I think would give it the far reach that it needs. Okay. We also believe that when we share in the awareness of what the good people are doing, I think it will also encourage others to do same. So we would want the media to, in terms of reporting, prioritize reporting issues on sustainability the more to encourage everybody coming on board.
Don't worry, we're solidly behind you, and this is a mission that is for all of us. It's not for just one group. But that is SESI. It's all about SESI 2024, the Strategic ESG and Sustainability Impact Summit 2024. Those who joined me for a conversation, Hilda Aku Esiedu, member, SESI Organizing Committee, and Isaac Edu-Jemfi, head of the SESI Organizing Committee. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.